Welcome to the Veterans in Politics Talk Show. Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook. Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson and Stephanie Phillips with Veterans in Politics. We're doing a special live on the recent decision from the Supreme Court regarding Nye County Justice of the Peace, Michele Fiore, versus the Nevada Commission on Judicial Discipline. And I talked about this in great lengths prior to the Supreme Court's ruling. So I'm going to have Ms. Phillips talk about it.
Hey guys, we just wanted to bring a few things to your attention because the media likes to put headlines out there. And if you don't read the full article or you don't investigate, you don't get the full details of what really is going on. The Supreme Court ruled that the Judicial Discipline Commission is permitted to impose an interim suspension on a judge in judicial discipline proceedings in its discretion. But they also kicked it back to the Judicial Discipline Commission to complete their investigation. So the Supreme Court didn't rule, in my opinion, they didn't rule against Michele Fiore. They want to see this investigation go through the Judicial Discipline Commission, and Michele will get a chance to respond, and then the commission will issue their ruling. And that probably, with that time frame, that'll probably end up sometime this summer. In my opinion, they have been slow walking this just to hurt her campaign. I see a lot of hypocrisy here. Let me go back and just give you some dates. So back in July of 2024, the commission issued a suspension from July of 24 to October 24 with pay. And then when the jury issued their verdict in 2024, they suspended Michele without pay for 10 months. Without pay for 10 months. Then, after Michele gets her pardon, they still kept her suspended, and they're giving her pay. She's suspended with pay. Now, let me tell you that even though it's with pay, that's half of what she's supposed to be getting. So even though they say she's suspended with pay, it's half of what she's supposed to get. And she was without for 10 months. Now, in this country, you are innocent until proven guilty, right? Everybody knows that. So they suspend her before this verdict even came out. And even beyond the verdict, when she was pardoned, she's been pardoned. That came out in April of 2025. They still are suspending her. From the date of that pardon, this should have been a moot point. And that suspension, in my opinion, never should have even been put in place, because the commission has said over and over, they put it in writing multiple times, they do not have jurisdiction over pre-bench actions. Michele was not a judge when all of this happened. And to me, that is hypocritical. You cannot say, Judicial Discipline Commission, that you have jurisdiction over who you want to have jurisdiction over, pre-bench, but you don't have any jurisdiction over, for example, Justice Herndon, way back. And we all have heard that story and all know about that. So you can't play both sides. You can't have your cake and eat it too. To me, this is absolutely the most hypocritical thing. And I want to point out to the public so that they see this for what it is. I don't care what you think about Michele, whether you like her, don't like her, think that she's guilty, not guilty, whatever it is. This is procedural. This is what the commission has put in writing, that they do not have jurisdiction over somebody and their actions before they became a judge. This all happened way before she became a judge. And even now, for them, they haven't even completed their investigation. And by the way, the commission is the one who started this investigation, and there was no complaint made to the commission. There wasn't somebody who filed this to have the commission open this investigation. They did this themselves. And they do this in less than 1% of the cases, from what I understand. So this rarely, if ever, happens. The commission opened this investigation, and they are suspending her, keeping her suspended without having this investigation done. So in essence, aren't you innocent until proven guilty? While you're doing your investigation and you have not come to a conclusion of findings, but you're going to stay suspended while we investigate, while we slow walk this to however long this is going to take. To me, this is completely unfair. It is hypocritical. It's a double standard. You protect some, you go after some. That is not the way our system works. And I think you guys are completely biased. And I think that this is so atrocious. Do you have anything to add to this?
For those of you that don't know, 30 days before Judge Michele Fiore received her letter from the Nevada Judicial Discipline Commission saying that they have jurisdiction over her, I received a letter from the same body, the Nevada Judicial Discipline Commission, because I filed a complaint against Chief Justice Douglas Herndon on his involvement of hiding evidence in the Fred Steeds case when he was a prosecutor. The Judicial Discipline Commission told me two things, the reason why they can't pursue. They said, one, Justice Herndon, then Prosecutor Herndon, was not a judge at the time of the alleged crime. And number two, that it's a 2-year statute of limitations. So I find that very biased and double standards and hypocritical. How are you going to say that you don't have jurisdiction and you don't have jurisdiction over one judge, but yet you have jurisdiction over another, when Michele Fiore's alleged crime happened 5 years before she became judge, and she was not a judge at the time of the alleged crime. So if you're telling me that you can't go after Justice Herndon because of those reasons, then why is the Nevada Judicial Discipline Commission going after Judge Michele Fiore? So it's a double standards. And I just want people to understand that they're not fair about these things. They violate the Constitution, the Nevada Constitution, constantly. And if you take a look at all their rulings, they only go after judges that they don't like, or judges that they feel is a problem in their minds, or they won't go after a likable judge or a judge that they take in consideration that judge is valuable to the bench. Even if that judge violates the laws, they won't go after them. They only go after people they don't like. And Governor Lombardo out there, you can make a difference when you put these appointed these folks to the Judicial Discipline Commission and the General Counsel and whoever is president of the state bar. You also put people on the Judicial Discipline Commission. You also could make changes as well. So I applaud both bodies, the governor's office and the state bar, to start making great decisions when they put people on the bench, put people on the Judicial Discipline Commission, because the people that you put in there are biased. They're biased. They are effing biased. And this is not how we should run these bodies. So,
The allegations from that brought this whole case forward against Michelle, that was from back in 2019. So according to you, Discipline Commission, your statute of limitations is already passed. It was pre-bench actions. And the most important part, which you guys seem to be just throwing in the trash, when the pardon came down, that is as if none of that even happened. Trial didn't happen. None of that happened. That pardon wiped that away. It is a moot point. You guys keep dragging this out because you just want to target her, in my opinion. And I think it's terrible. And the reason that you're using is that somehow, her integrity is compromised or any of this. If the pardon erased all of that, you have nothing to go on. Nothing. So all of this suspension, all of this lost pay, in my opinion, and I hope one day when this gets back to the Supreme Court, because I feel like it's going to go back to the Supreme Court at some point, I hope that you all have to pay her retroactively every dime that she is owed, which is over $100,000. And by then, probably way more than that. But anyway, I think it's unfair. You have shown hypocrisy. You have shown your bias. You have shown this double standard. And this is not how this is supposed to be run, in my opinion.
and to add, you're going after Michele Fiore for allegedly took $70,000 for statues, but yet you won't go after Justice Douglas Herndon for hiding evidence, which is a crime, and locking somebody up in prison for over 21 years at High Desert Prison, to add where they have rapes, gang violence, and all kinds of stuff happens over there. That's none of it is good. But you won't go after him for that. Instead, all you attorneys out there don't even run against this guy. I mean, you let him run unopposed. I mean, why you guys are such cowards? How come you didn't run? You had an opportunity to take him out and you chose not to. Now he's still chief justice, and he's going to be there for another 6 years. Good luck to you. I hope he screws up all your motions and appeals. Because it's karma's a mother, and one day everybody gets theirs, right? You done, Ms. Phillips? This is Steve Sampson, Stephanie Phillips for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.
Join us every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, live stream on Facebook.